Hey everybody, this is Pastor Bob, and this is Life with Luke number 59. This past weekend, we looked at Luke chapter 17, the first 19 verses. We just keep running into some really challenging, but really rich and beautiful passages in Luke's gospel. In this passage, Jesus talks about faith. In fact, the disciples are struggling to keep up with Jesus. The things he's teaching them, the places he's leading them on the way to Jerusalem, where he knows he's going to suffer and die, are difficult. There are lots of difficult things that we stumble over in our lives, temptations, difficulties, scandals, things that are hard to understand. It's hard, and we stumble, and Jesus acknowledges that stumbling happens. He just doesn't want us to be the cause of stumbling for other people, but the disciples cry out to Jesus just like we do. We say, Jesus, give us more faith. This is hard. It's hard to understand. It's hard to do. It's hard to stay upright and on the path following you. Give us more faith. And that's a very understandable and a very good thing to ask. Jesus wants us to be people of great faith and wants our faith to grow. He really does. But in this passage, Jesus' response is really interesting. The disciples cry out and they say, increase our faith, Jesus. Give us more faith. And faith is a gift. But Jesus says, if you had the faith of even just the tiny mustard seed, it would be enough. In fact, it would be enough to say to this giant tree with incredibly deep roots, just to say, be uprooted and cast into the heart of the sea. That's a very impressive image, to just be able to speak to a tree like that and to have that happen. But Jesus is saying, I'm not going to give you more faith if it means that you are going to just then have enough, that you'll have enough to meet any temptation, to have enough to meet any challenge, to have enough to understand things that are hard to understand. Because then you wouldn't need me. He says, the little faith that you have, even a mustard seed, which is really, really tiny, even the little faith that you have is enough, because that faith is not what you trust in. What you trust in is the person that the faith is placed in, which is Jesus. And he is enough. By placing our trust in Jesus day by day, moment by moment, trusting that he's reliable, trusting that his word is something that we can put into practice, trusting that even when we can't wrap our mind around something, Jesus is holding us tight. All that is trust. And when we do, we find that our faith grows. So check out the sermon online. Consider this passage. If you have just a tiny mustard seed of faith, you have Jesus, and that's enough. So have a great day.